The wind hits first. A wall of white swallows the horizon. Visibility drops to nothing. And somewhere in that chaos, a polar bear cub stands alone on a slab of drifting ice, separated from his mother by a crack that wasn't there 60 seconds ago. The gap may already be miles wide, too far for a cub to last long, alone. But his mother is already moving. Instinct gets her moving. Physics decides what happens next. In the water, the energy cost spikes dramatically. And the ice beneath her cub won't stay still. It drifts with the wind and the current, forces that don't wait for anyone. We can't know what she's thinking, only what she does. She turns toward the water. The Beaufort Sea, north of Alaska. Late spring. For weeks, a female polar bear and her 5-month-old cub have traveled the pack ice, hunting seals, resting on stable floes, moving with the rhythm of the frozen sea. The cub stays close. When she walks, he follows 3 steps behind. When she rests, he presses into her flank, half buried in fur. But the Arctic doesn't warn you when it's about to break. A sudden pressure system sweeps in from the northwest. Winds hit about 40 miles per hour. Snow turns horizontal. The light flattens. No shadows, no edges, no depth. Just white. The female presses low, her body curled around the cub. Her ears rotate, tracking sound. The ice groans beneath them, a low, drawn-out creak that rises in pitch, then the crack. It starts as a dark line, thin as a hair. Within seconds it widens. Water surges up through the gap, black against the white. The cub stumbles backward. The female lunges, but the ice tilts, and the edge pulls away. Contact is gone. The cub is now on a separate fragment. He scrambles toward the center, claws scraping. The storm pushes the piece out into open water, spinning it slowly. The female stands at the edge, chest heaving, nose lifted. She cannot see him. She cannot hear him over the wind, but polar bears don't navigate by sight alone. Their sense of smell is powerful, capable of picking up faint scent cues when conditions allow. She tests the air, holds still, tests again. She picks a direction, the strongest cue she can find. Right now, the ice offers no path. When the storm passes, the damage is visible. The cub's Floe is no longer nearby. It has drifted, pushed by wind, pulled by current, into the open waters of the Beaufort Sea. What started as a gap of 100 feet may now be tens of miles. This is the invisible engine of the Arctic, drift. Sea ice doesn't sit still. It moves constantly, wind pushing from above, ocean currents pulling from below. In the Beaufort Gyre, ice can travel tens of miles in a single day. A floe that seems stationary is actually sliding, slow and silent, across the sea. For the cub, this means one thing. Every hour he waits, the distance grows. He's too young to swim far. Smaller bears lose body heat faster than they produce it in cold water. A cub this small could face hypothermia very quickly after entering the sea. He stays on the floe, paces, stops, paces again, but the floe is shrinking, melt from below, waves lapping at the edges, carving them back. The platform that saved him is slowly disappearing beneath his paws. He lies down near the center, tucks his nose under one foreleg, waits. Meanwhile, his mother scans the open water from the ice edge. Her head moves in slow arcs across the horizon. She steps closer to the edge, backs off, steps forward again. What would you do? Swim now or wait? Tell me in the comments. She enters the water, not gradually. A single push from the ice edge and she's in, nearly 900 pounds of muscle, fat, and momentum, driving forward with powerful forelimb strokes. Her front paws break the surface in steady rhythm. Her hind legs trail behind, steering. Water rolls off her back in sheets. Each breath is a sharp exhale, a quick inhale, then under again. Polar bears swim in a style resembling a dog paddle, effective, but not efficient. A thick layer of blubber provides buoyancy and insulation, but insulation has limits. In the water, the energy cost is punishing. Research suggests swimming demands far more fuel than walking at the same pace. Some estimates put it at several times higher. And in water temperatures near freezing, heat bleeds from the body continuously. She can sustain a pace of roughly 4 to 6 miles per hour. At that speed, covering 50 miles could take many hours of continuous effort, possibly 10 or more. No rest, no ice to climb onto, no food. Her body will burn through fat reserves to keep moving. Her core temperature will fight to stay stable, and if she slows too much, the cold will take over. She doesn't stop. Hours pass. Her stroke rate drops slightly. Her breathing roughens. Water slaps against her muzzle, and she lifts her head higher to clear it. At some point she pauses, just for a moment, treads water, lifts her nose, then pushes forward again. Many hours in the water, maybe 12, maybe more. Her pace has slowed, her coat hangs heavy with water, but she hasn't stopped. And then, a shift. The same forces that separated mother and cub now begin to work differently. A change in wind direction, a subtle rotation in the current. The cub's floe, still drifting, begins to curve back toward the mainland ice. This is the window. In the Arctic, ice doesn't just open paths, it closes them. Leads appear and vanish. Open water can freeze over in hours when temperatures drop. The same gap that allowed passage this morning may be sealed by nightfall. For the female, the narrowing distance is an opportunity, but also a deadline. She pushes harder. On the floe, the cub has moved to the edge. He vocalizes, short, repetitive calls that carry across the water. Polar bear cubs use these sounds to stay in contact with their mothers, and some evidence suggests mothers might recognize their own cub's call. She hears something. Her head turns. The final stretch is the hardest. Her limbs are heavy. Her movements less fluid. But the floe is close now. Solid, real, within reach. She reaches the edge. Her claws scrape the ice. She pulls herself up, water streaming from her coat pooling beneath her. For a moment she just lies there, chest heaving, eyes half closed. The cub approaches slowly, stops a few feet away, then presses his head into her neck. They stay like that, still, as the ice drifts on. The swim is over. The cost is not. She has burned through a significant portion of her fat reserves. Energy she would normally use for hunting, for nursing, for surviving the lean summer months when the ice retreats. She will need to find seals soon. She will need the ice to hold. She will need conditions that in a warming Arctic grow less reliable every year. This wasn't luck. It was timing, barely aligned, just enough to allow survival. But the window is closing. Not just for this pair, for polar bears across the region. As sea ice retreats earlier each spring and returns later each fall, the distances between stable platforms grow longer. The swims grow harder. The margins grow thinner. She made it this time. How many more times she can? No one knows. The Arctic doesn't give second chances. It gives windows, brief, unpredictable, unforgiving. For one polar bear mother, that window was enough. If you want to see what happens when the ice doesn't cooperate, when the window closes instead of opens, the next episode follows a different mother, in a different season, facing a choice with no good options. Subscribe so you don't miss it.